right, we are rolling. Hey, everybody.
What's going on?
All right, so the title today of today's live is It's a Myth, okay? All I need is one good offer to have the business of my dreams. And I think that we hear this quite a bit, and I think it's really kind of talking about the power of one, right? The focus of one. And it's really, really good to focus like that, but we're going to kind of explain why that actually can get you into a little bit of trouble and actually stop you from actually achieving your long-term goals, your bigger goals. So
Absolutely.
if you give us just a few minutes today, we're going to run through a story about one of our clients, Rebecca, and about how she was actually building a business based on one amazing offer. She's great at what she does, but then she started getting burned out. She started actually getting overworked, and honestly, she was increasingly becoming underpaid. So we're actually going to show you what happens when she actually started using our 3 offer sequence, and how right now she is definitely on her way, almost right there, building a 6-figure business while only working 2 days a week. Okay. So again, my name is Jake Olkis, and this is my wife.
Hey guys, I am Ashley Olkas, and we help online experts and coaches design profitable and scalable businesses using a simplified offer and fulfillment system. And it's all about impacting and increasing your impact with your audience without sacrificing your dream life. And so in every single one of these lives that we're going to be doing, you're going to get something that you can absolutely take away and implement right now in your business. We're going to give you new perspective to think about how you're building your business. We want to make sure that these live episodes are really valuable for you. And finally, we're going to show you how to grow and move your business forward from a variety of different topics. So today, you guys, we're going to share with you the story about our client, Rebecca, who we adore. And how using our 3 offer sequence, she is now on her way to building a 6-figure business while only working 2 days per week, client facing, which is incredible.
Yep.
We'll explain why it's 2 days a week, because it's absolutely part of kind of the strategy that we work with everyone on in terms of creating your boundaries inside your business and your 3 containers. But yeah, so when Rebecca came to us, right, we've been working with Rebecca Jake's known Rebecca for a long time. And she came to us, and she was at this place in her business. She had one amazing offer. She's a parenting coach, and she's really great at what she does. So if anyone needs a parenting coach, we know one for you. But she came to us and she said, guys, I'm exhausted. I'm fatigued. I'm tired. I am really starting to feel burned out in my one offer. Her one offer, like many early stage coaches, was a one-on-one private coaching offer.
Right. And so she would actually bring on a client and then work through her entire process of actually kind of evaluating what's going on with the family dynamic and teaching them how to communicate better in order to create better relationships, better households, better days, stop arguing, stop yelling and all that. And it's really kind of amazing. But what she soon found was that one amazing offer, while it was bringing amazing results, it was actually increasingly becoming difficult for her to actually manage.
Yeah, and one of the reasons was because it was emotional. So if you are a life coach, if you are a parenting coach, if you are a communications coach, a relationship coach, any of those, and even sometimes business coaches, we all run into this, right? Our one-on-one coaching can oftentimes really be emotional. But when you're digging into family dynamics and parenting issues, it has an exceptionally emotional kind of process that the coach and the clients go through. And Rebecca was feeling, at the end of the day, she was exhausted, quite frankly. She has kids, and she's like, I have nothing left in the tank for them. Those were almost verbatim her words. And in parenting, she's a parenting coach. She's an incredible parent. And that was increasingly becoming unacceptable to her. It was no longer something she can continue to do. She needed to change up her business.
Right. So, and let's just say this, is that's part of the motivation about why the time was really important to her, because she is a parenting coach, because this is all born from actually the relationship she values so much within her household, that she wanted to be there for her kids, and she didn't want to be. She kind of wanted to eat her own dog food and not be a parenting coach teaching people how to build better relationships while abandoning her own relationships to grow a business. So
and there were reasons why she could only work 2 days a week, which we won't go into because
Right.
those were personal to her, but they were incredibly valid reasons in which we respected very much. So she had some clear boundaries in her business, but her one offer became impossible to scale and it left her drained, and she was feeling that exhaustion at the end of the day. And so because she put so much into her one-on-one clients, and all that started happening is what she started to just stack all these one-on-one private coaching calls into her calendar, and she was working really long hours, feeling incredibly tired, and she said there has to be a completely different way. And so that was the first thing. It became impossible for her to scale, and many coaches will encounter this in their business. If you have a one-on-one coaching offer, a private coaching offer, it is difficult to scale. Without a big machine, it's difficult to scale if you want to grow a lean, profitable, but also lifestyle-driven business.
Right. And I think that is, like you said, is common. It's common because as we go into those one-on-one offers, we want to serve so much and we want to fulfill so heavy that those processes get really long, right? So you spend a lot of time on the phone. You actually spend a lot of time messaging. You provide a lot of above and beyond service because you're so tied in and so integrated with what's going on with your one-on-one client.
Yep.
And it's just a natural thing, right? But that's good. That's how you should start out. I think that everyone should start off with that one-to-one offer because you don't know what you don't know. You don't know about your clients. You don't know about the process, the journey, the value systems, all this stuff that really makes impact. So all I can say is that you have to be prepared to understand exactly your fulfillment system. And that's what we did with Rebecca. Initially, when she came to us and we said, it's hard to scale because the way you're fulfilling on it. So what we did is that we went in there and we actually had her take stock on exactly what the process is of her best success stories, right? And identify what we call the success points, identify these areas within the business that really made those big impacts. Because in between those moments, there's a lot of fluff. In between those moments, there's a lot of things that you might necessarily not need to do, but you just did because you're reacting, okay? So what we want to do in those kind of moments is really identify what that true success points look like within your fulfillment system and really take stock on what's really required to get the results back in those times where you actually had really good results. And then we also, at that point, you start to identify what is not needed, which is actually really important. And then you also start to identify what can be systematized, what can be pulled out and actually turned into something more automatic that can be handled prior to getting to those success points.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
If you have an offer like that, please, we just say go through and take stock of your fulfillment system on that and really kind of identify really what is required, what's absolutely required to have, what's nice to have, and what can just be tossed.
Yeah, the other thing that she was experiencing is that she was having difficulty selling her offer to her ideal audience. And this is why we definitely, if life coach, parenting coach, coach to mothers, coach to, any kind of these things, is that there's no like tangible ROI like sometimes you'll see in a business coaching relationship. And so we see this a lot in that, when you're thinking about the ideal client as a family or a parent or whatever it might be, there's so many other places where they can spend their money and invest their money, right? And oftentimes with limited resources, you start to, as much as you want to change the dynamic in your household or in your life or what it might be, it kind of gets put on the back burner. And this starts to happen. And it's really frequent that you hear this, right? There's a little bit of that price objection because it's not this like utmost priority in terms of on the financial checklist.
Yeah, and it's hard to actually put it in as an investment because you can't actually pinpoint a return. So at that point, on the other side of the phone and the other side of the table, they think of it as an expense. And then you start to think about next best option. What else can I spend this money on? And that's very common, like she said, with intangible offers. So our fix to that, and what we typically do is that when we actually start to come in and break down these offers and build what we call the 3-offer sequence, is we need to get people we need to meet them where they are and what phase they're in. So if it's an education phase, if we need to educate them further on why they definitely need this, even if there's not a big tangible money return, it's still important to them, okay? And they need to understand exactly why. And a lot of times we can educate them through additional initial offers, what we call acquisition offers or upfront offers. And what that does is that actually creates a moment that they can't unsee. They actually start to learn about why this is really valuable, what's on the other side of that result that you're going to bring them with that full journey. But you're stepping into them. It's easy for them to consume. It's easy for them to understand, and it actually gets them in a moment where they actually have to remove themselves from that process. They actually have to say, you know what, I know what's possible now, but now I don't want it. And that's a very difficult thing to do, especially when you're dealing with something that's impactful, even if it's intangible. So that's why for her, we went in and we broke up this offer into the 3-offer sequence to basically say we need to actually have something else for them to bite on first in order for them to understand exactly how valuable and how impactful this main journey can be for them. Once they do that, they'll actually move themselves down this process without you really needing to push. It makes sales very, very easy because it's a transition, not a sales conversation.
Yeah, so Rebecca came to us with one offer, right? One private one-on-one coaching offer, limited time on her calendar, only one of her, feeling exhausted. We were able to help her build out a 3-offer sequence inside of her coaching business. She now makes more money, and she actually spends less time fulfilling on her offers because we did we just kind of looked at it from a different perspective, and we said, okay, knowing who your ideal client is, how can we meet them where they are and what is needed by them? And we were able to literally take her one-on-one offer and turn it into 3 offers that are really they're kind of it's like as your client evolves through this journey, she's able to follow them along, if that makes sense. So she has her acquisition offer, which is, kind of the eye-opening offer for her. It's kind of giving that foundational education to her prospective new clients
while making money,
because that is a paid offer. And then she has her amazing group coaching program where she's able now to serve 20 times more people in a fraction of the time, but still, absolutely, because we were able to design the fulfillment on it, she's still able to give them the impact that she is really committed to. And then for people that want more of her and that want to go further in that journey, she has the one-on-one. But she's no longer, this is the beauty, she's no longer relying on that one-on-one for her income, for the revenue for her business. And her client roster has quadrupled. I mean, it's 20 times what it was before.
But her time of fulfillment is now contained within 2 days.
And she is on her way every time we talk to her, she's on her way closer and closer to hitting that 6-figure business mark, only working client-facing 2 days a week.
Yeah. And the 2 days a week, people go, well, that's impossible. It's really not, because we designed, in the way that we design these things, we actually have, what we call the Upfront Foundation, the 3 containers. And we're very deliberate. Like we say, we use proactive versus reactive quite a bit. You'll hear us talk about that a lot. That's because we designed the business based upon the time containers and basically saying, listen, if you only have 2 days a week to work, then we're going to design the business that can be run in 2 days a week. Versus saying, let's design a business that makes all this money, and then we'll just figure out, hustle and grind all this time in order to actually run it and fulfill on it. We reverse engineer it, right? We start with the end in mind. What is the true goal? And for her, the main thing was that she wanted to be, all of her reasons about why she only wanted to work 2 days a week. Said, fine, let's just start with that. So that's pretty much how we do it with the 3-offer, the sequence built upon the 3 containers. But
it's intentional business building, right? Because we come out with this main intention that we're going to create this business that gives us this lifestyle that we desire, right? But then what slowly happens is that your business starts to just completely consume you. And so how do we kind of reverse engineer everything, be more intentional about it, but also really impactful with it? And that's what Rebecca's been able to do. And it's incredible to watch. And so if this story resonates with you at all, if you are someone sitting with one offer and you are struggling to grow it and you're kind of hitting a ceiling within your business.
And you're trying to drop in other offers, but they're not really congruent. They don't mix. They're not really saving you time. It's just adding more fulfillment to your table.
Absolutely. We have an amazing premium membership where we walk people through this process. How do you build an entire business model, a sustainable and profitable business model with a 3-offer sequence based on one primary offer, right? Your true expertise. And that's what our expertise is. It's helping you dissect your business in a way that creates something that you absolutely love running, but that doesn't run you in the process. And so we have a free training. It's the Freedom Framework training where we walk you through this entire thing. It's only 20 minutes, totally free. If you want it, drop a note in the comments below or private message us and we will get the training to you. But yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, it's a great training. But if you're dealing with any of these three things, drop us a comment below. We can chat about it or we can send over that training. But that's about it.
All right, guys.
All right, guys.
Bye.
See ya.